Hi, this is Iris with Teton Valley Community Recycling, and we are so excited that you're starting a backyard compost. When you get your wire compost bin, we encourage you to find a nice sunny spot in your yard, either near your garden or along a fence line that's a little protected from the wind, to assemble your compost. You'll have some pieces of wire in your bin, and it's easy to move and really lightweight, so just put it together, secure it in a few spots with a twist tie, and you can also stake it down with the stakes that we'll provide here to keep it from blowing over until you build your pile up. Composting is really simple. We'll have simple instructions for you to help you troubleshoot. But we encourage you to start with some carbon, so things like straw, dry leaves, even shredded newspaper would work great as a carbon source. And you're going to need 4 times as much carbon as nitrogen source. So when you're putting in things like food scraps, manure, any of that fresh green weeds, be sure you're balancing out the ratio. If you have too much food scraps and nitrogen, it's going to smell bad. If you have too much carbon and dry stuff, it's just going to take a really long time to break down. So getting that balance is one trick. So I throw in some carbon source, then I'm going to throw in my food scraps, and I can do that for a couple of days before I cover it with some more. And I'll continue to fill up the bin. This is a slow process here in the Teton Valley. It can take almost a year for your compost to fully break down. In the winter, you can keep feeding the pile, but it'll be really slow. Some people just stop in the winter. To accelerate the process, you can turn your compost. Or if you're lazy, you could just let it go and the worms will do the work. But to turn the compost, this bin is really simple. You'll just open it up, pull out any stakes, and move the whole thing. You can set it up in another spot right next to it, and then take a shovel or a pitchfork and turn everything right back into the bin. Super simple, super lightweight, and this is what the school gardens have been using with great success. If you're concerned about rodents, we will have some garbage can lids. We don't have a ton, but you can cover it with something, and that can accelerate the decomposition process as well as keep any critters out. But they generally can't get through this wire, and they can't climb up. So this is a really effective bin. If you have any problems, you can look on your troubleshooting guide or send us an email at tetonrecycling@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to connect you with a master gardener, or one of us can help give you some advice. A couple things we don't want you putting in your compost. If it's going to go into a food garden, be sure you don't put any animal poop like dog or cat poop. Chicken poop, goat manure, horse manure will all break down, but there can be parasites in dog and cat poop, so that shouldn't go in. Also, meat tends to attract lots of things like skunks and rodents, so don't put any meat products, and really greasy things like butter or dairy products, cheese, and again, meat fat shouldn't go in here. But other than that, pretty much everything will break down through a natural process. If it smells bad, remember, adding more carbon can help, and this dry stuff to cover it up, or turning it. If it seems really dry, you can water your compost bin, and that helps. But this process happens even if you're a lazy composter. If you want it to go fast, put more effort into it. And thanks so much for participating in our program.